And let me preface this video with saying that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is entertainment. So there you go. This is an entertainment video, which you may or may not watch for entertainment value. That's my disclosure. So I can get into this. So today's entertainment is going to be about one of my favorite stocks. It's Camber Energy. The ticker symbol is CEI. That is Charlie Echo India, CEI. And let's get into a history of CEI. This is the website. And they're about accelerating into the curve. They have some existing assets, which they've been aggressively growing in the past 6 months. And we'll get into that in the history of the company, why they've changed, and why I love them so much. And I think it's really going, when it's its moment to shine, it's gonna shine. Also, you might know I might stutter in this video, trip over some words. I'm not recording this with a script. I could, but this is just my unfiltered stream of consciousness that I'm broadcasting to you. Okay, I love this stock. And I think its time to shine is going to come. So here we go, the CEO. The CEO's name is Mr. James Doris, and he's like hands down my favorite CEO at the moment. A bit of history with ESG. So we're going to go over here. And this, I'm going to talk about the history because this is like what people always ask about the stock on message boards, Reddit. They go, why was it so high? So a bit of history. Camber Energy's been around for a while. And they actually ran into some problems. They got into some bad business transactions with prior CEOs. So the company's been around for a while, and for a while it had some corrupt CEOs. And it was not a good company. It was a crap company. And what did I talk about in my last videos? I talked about Brightburn, how it went from being a crap company to a great company, Maverick. Sometimes all it takes is the management. And if you're an old-timey investor, that's what you're going to say. You're going to tell me a management can make or break a company. 100% hands down, management can make or break a company. So, a long time ago, Camber Energy was under a different name, and they had, I think it was Discover. They were in this weird business agreement with Discover to print unlimited shares in their treasury. It was wild. It was this weird thing. It didn't sound right. That was a long time ago. So what happened was they printed unlimited shares, and then they started doing reverse splits, reverse stock split. So this company was a bad company, and it was an energy company, and they had some weird, wacky agreement with Discover, and then they started doing all these reverse stock splits. So that's why the stock is like one share is $200 million. They did all these reverse stock splits. Because they had a lot of shares. Let me tell you what, they had a lot of shares, reverse stock splits. Oh, that's interesting here. I want to know what happened here. Again, if you do a reverse stock split, your stock's going to go up and up and up. And then they just petered out. The shorts took over. You know, we went down to pennies. And then it came back up. The other CEO started putting things right. He started trying to catch up with the accounting books. They also had a lot of things where nothing was submitted financially. Again, that was like a few CEOs prior. They didn't have anything submitted financially a few CEOs prior. And you can actually learn about this on the blog. Camber has a blog. The CEO is really transparent. I love him. He makes a blog. He explains things. He says he's not afraid of hard work, and the man isn't. He admits to, like, look, I've had sleepless nights. I've been working hard. We've been working hard. Great. So old CEO started putting things into play. Then the new CEO, Doris, comes in around December of 2020. And things get pumped up. Whee! And there was a pump up because new CEO is going to change things around. All right, then it kind of lulls back down. And then, whoa, it pumps back up. And then right at this time, okay, so this time, when this pump started happening, this is what happened. CEI acquires Viking Energy. Now, Mr. Doris, there's Mr. Doris, he was the CEO of Viking Energy. He was bigwig. in Viking. I'll say he was a bigwig. He was a bigwig in Viking Energy, and then he just came on to Camber, and Camber acquired interest in Viking. It's a good way for Viking to get listed on the NASDAQ. So he was a bigwig in Viking Energy, which now Camber acquired Viking Energy. Viking Energy then acquires this. This is huge. Okay. ESG Clean Energy. It's a Canadian deal. And it's this brand new type of carbon capturing system. There's different types of carbon capturing systems out there. I like this one quite a bit. So this ties into like my experience with environmental science and emissions, all that. I could go on about emissions and environmental science all day. Okay, so what he does is they have this new system, and it filters the exhaust before you capture the carbon. It actually goes through a series of filtering in the exhaust. What comes out is you can capture about 100% or pretty close to it, just about all. I'll say just about all the CO2. And it produces also sellable commodities. Distilled water. Water is hot. Let me tell you what water is hot. Distilled, potable water. Well, distilled water isn't potable. You shouldn't drink it. But distilled water is a hot commodity. You need distilled water for like your radiators. Distilled water is a hot commodity. You're going to make a fish tank. You got to tap it off with distilled water. Distilled water is a hot commodity. You can, mix it, whatever. You need distilled water. Laboratory uses. It ain't going away. Water is a hot commodity, especially as we continue to get more urbanized and freshwater, we grow as a population. Freshwater is going to become scarcer and scarcer. So this is like hot commodity. Take some pollution and make some things good about it. All that pollution, extract it and boop, you're going to sell some stuff. It's kind of like if you have a big dairy farm, all that cow crap, you take it, you collect it, you put it in what is called a lagoon. And it just kind of uses the anaerobic bacteria to ferment. And then you suck up all your lagoon water and use it to water plants. Similarly enough, if you have a fish tank, a freshwater fish tank, all that crap kind of ferments in the bottom. It's an anaerobic environment. You vacuum out your fish tank, you suck it up in a bucket, and then you use that to water your garden plants, and they love it, right? Same preference, just on a greater scale. You're using crap and turning it into something great. Even crap can become gold. One man's crap is another man's treasure. Okay. Back on track. So they acquire Viking, which is now owned by CEI. Viking Energy. CEI, they get exclusive licensing. So we're at Camber Energy. Viking's over the counter, but once it's fully acquired when all this finishes. Okay. And they got this exclusive agreement license to use this awesome carbon capture technology. It's way more energy efficient. Uses less power again. This comes with the filtering. The pre-filtering process really helps lessen energy usage. And it talks about it. The exhaust gas, water vapor. Which again is naturally occurring byproduct of the combustion process. You separate the two elements, you get, distilled water and other commodities. As a result, net zero carbon footprint power is achieved. You can also generate electrical power from this carbon capture system. Look at all these applications you can use with their system. Nitrogen, you can use this for nitrogen removal. Algal blooms. If you live in Ohio on the Lake Erie, you know about the algal blooms in Lake Erie because of all the farmland in the northwestern part of Ohio, like Toledo area. All that runoff from the nitrogen fertilizers caused a bunch of algal blooms in Lake Erie. Natural gas wells. Wow, we talked about that before. Natural gas wells. Microgrids. Data centers. Oh, we need more data. With all that cloud-based computing, the clouds, you're going to need to power the clouds now. And this is the hot one, crypto, because all the money, crypto. And in that one country, they're like, we're just basing our currency off crypto. That's a big overlook there, is crypto and data centers. So you're going to take crap and a problem, you're going to turn it into a great thing. So right now they have exclusive license over Canada to use it, and then 25 cities in America, which we don't know yet, but Houston might be one. Houston's already looking into it, and there's been some articles about Houston wanting to get into this. Houston, Texas. Again, I'm in Texas now. So that's great. That's a big one. All right. Again, the company's been working hard over the past 6 months. And the CEO has his own vlog, and you can go there. He's very transparent, hardworking. So he has a vlog. He talks about stuff. Now, what happened here? So the stock was doing good. It almost got to the $5 point. It actually got to like 4.85. It got to the $5 point, almost, which opens up a plethora of new investors come in because it's no longer a penny stock at that point. So yeah, this guy came out with a company called the Short Report, and it just tanked the stock. So the company has until November 19th is the deadline to submit their 10K financials. Like I said earlier, the company was a bad company for a long time, and they've been working hard this past year and a half to really transform it around, submit the financials. Here we go to the bread and butter. He's been working hard. And you can go to his blog and read it all and watch. I highly recommend. See, he has a blog. I love it because he comes out with this blog. He's been blogging away. Here he is at one of the new carbon capture plants, and he explains about it. It's in Holyoke, Maine. And he just talks about his stuff. He talks about the revenue upstreams. The company last year only had like $350,000 revenue for the whole year. However, now, this year, in this past quarter alone, which is coming up, financials will be released on or before November 19th. CEO says they're going to be before. They have revenue upstream from Viking, and he talks about it in this particular blog from September 16th. They have Viking, and then they have the ESG clean energy and the carbon capture system. They have this whole clean energy. So it's an oil company and it's a clean energy company. Best of both worlds. Oil's hot. It's a hot commodity. People are waiting for this 10K to come out. Now, let's go to Twitter. They tweeted yesterday, we're looking forward to meeting industry influencers, driving Canada's energy transformation to clean energy opportunities. Our IP license for ESG's Clean Energy's carbon capture system will greatly influence the energy sector moving forward. So they're going to be at this conference November 17th and 18th. The financials have to be released by November 19th. I think they're going to come out before, because you're not going to go to this big conference and show all your stuff, to try and get investors if you're in trouble. I think it's going to come out before from this tweet. I think this tweet could be a potential clue to say, hey, look, it's going to come out before because we're not going to go to this conference. And the CEO stated that they've been working hard. In fact, they fired, which is funny because the Short Report talked about how, oh, it was bad. They fired their previous accountant. If the CEO sees a problem, to me, that's a good CEO. He sees a problem, he's going to deal with it. That's a good CEO. That's good management. It all kind of rides on that November 19th 10K. That's what everybody's waiting for, is that November 19th 10K. The 10K could be released anytime now, actually. Anytime. So certainly before November 19th. And this tells me that their tweet tells me that they're pretty close to getting it done. It's going to be ready by then. You don't go to a big thing like this and not have anything to back it up. Let's talk about that 10K. So ESG's previous earnings were $350,000 a year, whatever. Viking's earnings, which they have about 100% of Viking now, are about $40 million a year. Whoa! Also, Viking owns 66 60% of Simpson Maxwell. So you get 60% of Simpson Maxwell revenues, which is they are a generator company. So in America we have Generac's the big one, Generac. In this one, you have industrial engines for hospitals, server centers, data centers. They have a couple different industrial engines. Some of them run off hydrogen power. It's kind of cool. They defuse water, make hydrogen power. You have different types of generators that they do. It's really cool. And then CEI gets 60% of their revenue. They get the revenue upstream. So they make about 71 million a year in revenue. And CEI gets 60% of that. You're going to get 70, let's say 70 million times 60%. Yeah, it's 42 million of that and then 40 million of Viking. And that was last year, and fuel is down even more. It's gone up. Barrels of oil has gone up. So the oil company Viking is going to have more revenue this year. And last year they had to deal with COVID too. So this year it's going to be, I think, much better. So that's $82 million in revenue upstream a year. They're going to go from 350,000 a year to 82 million a year upstream. CEI. That's huge. That's huge. Plus you got this, the crypto mining. It's even more revenue. It's only $1.45 just because people are scared that that 10K hasn't been done yet. But what gives me assurance about that 10K being done in time and even before that deadline was this tweet right here, this publicity. I think it's great. Okay, I've been talking for a while. I guess time to go trim down my ramblings and make it more concise. Thanks for listening to me, guys. Bye.